Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for another review, and I think after this I'm gonna go take a shower or whatever. I haven't decided yet, but basically this is for another album review for Silent Planet's new album Superbloom that I got a chance to listen to for this 12-track album, which is like under 40 minutes. It's not very long, but it's solid runtime, I guess. Like a regular album, 40-minute album is, I guess. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for Silent Planet's newest album, Superbloom, and let you know my thoughts on this album overall. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with the intro track, Lights Off the Lost Coast, which honestly, that was an interesting track. It's very ominous and creepy. But I think this was in the music video of Anunnaki, I believe is how you pronounce it, Anunnaki or something like that. I believe I did do that track review and pronounced it that way. I'm not sure, but this was like I guess the opening track for the album, and it's pretty good. Um, Pretty ominous and creepy of an intro track. It just has weird static noise and just how it starts off. It's really creepy with the melody. So, really enjoying how it sounds. 5 out of 5. Off-Worlder, great song. I think they're going to have a music video for this tonight at midnight, which can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be an epic track. Or an epic music video, I meant to say, because I've already heard the song. So, yeah, the song is amazing. And I believe his name's Garrett. Garrett's screaming vocals are quite amazing in this track. I tend to forget some lead singers' members' names, so basically, 5 out of 5 for Worlder, I meant to say. Collider was one of my favorite singles. When I first heard it, I fell in love with it. It was one of the best songs that came out back in late August as one of the singles. I think the second to last single before the final single came out, which is Anunnaki, something like that, or however you pronounce it. Basically, Collider's getting a 5 out of 5. Sorry if I hesitated for a moment, just was trying to think if I pronounced it right or not, so I'm going to be talking about that track in a moment. 5 out of 5 for Collider. Euphoria was interesting. It was a little different. I mean, with how he sings the chorus, Garrett, it starts off weird with this ominous kind of creepy falsetto, and his creepy clean vocals sound pretty interesting, and I'm really digging it. So 5 out of 5. Dreamwalker is a great track. I love the screams from Garrett. Sounds really good, and just overall this track is heavy, pretty heavy. I think this and uh, signal were pretty amazing. So pretty much 5 out of 5 for Dreamwalker. Antimatter is a solid track. It's probably the least favorite on this album. Probably the only least favorite, to be honest, because everything else was quite amazing for this album. But pretty much, I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5. I don't know. Something about it didn't really hook me to the track because of the melody and how it overall sounded. So I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5. Then comes Signal. I think this was one of the signals before the Antimatter song. But it was such an epic track going into the final single, which is Anunnaki. So pretty much, I'd give this Signal a 5 out of 5. It's a great track. Highly recommend you check out this track for yourself. I think they have a music video for it or something like that, or it came out as a single, but pretty much great track. Then comes the last song, which is last single, I should say. I think they've only released 4 singles to be precise. So they didn't overdo it a bit with singles. I'm not sure. It's 4 or 5 singles for this album, but it's a 12-track album. They didn't really spoil this album too much, but still, Anunnaki is a great track. Garrett's screaming vocals are amazing in this. I really like his growls too, and just how the overall track sounds. I mean, there is electronic work from time to time, but the metalcore sound to it sounds amazing. 5 out of 5. And I did review this track, so you can definitely go check this track review out. Came out in late September, I think close to my birthday, but still a great track. The Overgrowth, it started off really mellow and pretty interesting of a song, and sorry about the background noise, my nephew is throwing a fit. Um, Basically, the Overgrowth did start getting pretty heavy as the remainder of the track came in. Like, as it progressed through the track, it started getting even heavier, and it was so good. It was such an awesome song, so 5 out of 5. Nexus is the 10th song on the album, and that's a quite amazing album. Not album closer. Quite an amazing song, I meant to say. I am messing up with my wording, so please forgive me on that. Still a great track for how it sounds, and overall, Garrett's screaming vocals really impressed me. And his clean vocals from time to time are pretty good throughout this album, too, and in certain songs, so 5 out of 5. Re-Entry is a Excuse my yawning. Re-Entry is a 52-second track. It's an interlude to the final track, which is the title track. And it's really interesting of a song leading into the final song. Pretty much, it's just mostly weird background noise and all that. It sounds pretty cool with how it sounds, so 5 out of 5 for this one. And finally, we get to the last track, Superbloom. The closing track is epic. It sounds really nice for majority of it. And then there's some screams from time to time in this track that sound great from Garrett. But mostly his clean vocals really shine in this song. And this was quite an epic closing track to end this whole album. So 5 out of 5 for this one. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Silent Planet's Superbloom did a really good job. I think they did a good job on this album. One of my favorite albums this year. I wouldn't say it's album of the year, but it came pretty close to getting a 10 out of 10. So it was almost album of the year contender. So pretty much, if I were to give this album an overall score, what I really think, I just think Antimatter was probably the least favorite. But other than that, the rest of the tracks really amazed me with how they sound. I mean, Euphoria it's an acquired taste, but I actually did enjoy it for some moments in it. But I still would give it a 5 out of 5 because there were some pretty amazing moments in the track. Still, for a score for me, I'm giving Silent Planet Superbloom a 9.5 out of 10. An amazing album, definitely rocks for sure. Highly recommend you check this album out if you haven't listened to this band Silent Planet. And I'm going to be reviewing their albums too in 2024 sometime. I think it's like 3 or 4 albums I got to review since I've already reviewed this one. I think there's 5 albums they've released in their discography. So basically 9.5 out of 10 for Silent Planet's Superbloom album. Sorry for my yawning. I just tend to do that sometimes. And with that being said, thank you for watching this album review tonight.